What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We're taking a look at The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, the next-gen update, which has unfortunately basically broken the game, especially when it comes to DX12, which right now really isn't running at all. Now, I'm not forcing any compatibility because I didn't need to prior to the patch, but I do hear that experimental and the beta line is kind of getting DX12 up and running, but not great. Now, when you get launched into the game, even in game mode, you'll get the GOG launcher here where you can select between DirectX 12 and DirectX 11. I haven't had to use desktop mode for this. It's worked fine in game mode, but I'm going to launch into DirectX 12 here so that you can see what happens. So I try to load into a game, and what will happen is it'll go into the loading screen and then it will freeze up and kick us out. I tried this on 2 different Steam Decks, a couple dozen times actually, and could never really get around it. And I see it's a pretty widespread issue on Twitter and Reddit and other things, so it's definitely something we should see a fix for soon enough. Now, if I go in here, relaunch, and start DirectX 11 right here in the launcher, that'll switch us over to that, which actually will get us loaded in and get the game running. It's got its own performance issues as well, but at least you can get in and start playing the game. So I'll show the same thing here, loading into the same save, and it'll actually go ahead and get us into the game, which is great. Now, the only thing is, obviously, I wasn't expecting the same kind of FPS with the same settings as I was pre-patch because of the improvements to the game's visuals, but there are some performance hiccups and hitches that didn't quite exist before that are definitely evident in DirectX 11. It's not just DX12 that's messed up. They definitely are going to have to improve this, but I still wanted to cover what was going on here. Now, as far as those settings, I've gone through, and even though they've made some changes, most of the settings are the same, and you can go in here and make similar same adjustments. So what I've done is set the camera to as close as I can to what it used to be default, and I've also matched all of the other settings from graphics and display to pre-patch. So everything is matched as closely as I possibly can to show the exact same thing for performance and visuals, which of course makes these side-by-sides we'll get into more fun to check out, which we'll get into those now starting right here. And my zoom was a little bit different on this capture, unfortunately, but you can still see the differences here with pre-patch and after patch. And on after patch on the right hand side, if you look at the tree out there to the right, kind of towards the top, you can see that big difference in the shadowing and lighting, and look at the trees out in the distance. The same save, same time of day, same everything, but when I used to load up this save over and over again before, it would match up. And now with the DirectX or with the next gen update, it's definitely different. You can see the lighting here. I had the brightness the same, gamma, everything matched. It's definitely more natural and looks better as you get into it, and this got me excited to check out some other areas as well, because you can definitely see some other differences even with just DX11 and not being able to run on DX12 yet. Like, this scene's pretty cool. If you look at the brick, it has a lot of differences in its textures and colors now, which is pretty cool. After patch, it looks a little more real, and the brick closest to you on the left there, totally different when it comes to how it looks and the textures, and still looks like brick now. Much better there. Those little things. And this scene right here, little cutscene, you can see even with the same settings how much cleaner the sign and post and foliage and stuff is, and how much less dramatic that wind is, which we'll talk about more, because again, this is the same scene and his hair's blowing a lot less and everything else. That's because it seems like, especially in this scene, you can see it as well, the wind seems a lot more natural now after the update, which I'm happy to see. I always felt like the wind and the way the trees and everything moved was pretty dramatic, and they would be like bent over, and you can see that in the video a bit as well. But with the same kind of scene and the same save, they're still blowing around, but much more naturally. So I found that cool, and you can see that in this scene as well when it comes to the wind and stuff and the hair movement. So it just seems better now. And same thing if you look out in the distance at the foliage, the trees, the coloring of everything's a little better, the shadows, the textures, just overall much nicer update, even though we have those bit of performance issues right now when it comes to DX11. Now, the game looks great. It looks fantastic. I love the changes. I'm enjoying playing through Witcher 3 again, but I definitely want to see these improvements come sooner rather than later. We need a patch to fix the issues with DX11 still, and we need a patch to fix the issues, of course, with DX12, and that's not just a Steam Deck thing. I'm having some issues on my other PC as well with DX12, so I definitely want to see the fixes for that. And when they do fix all that up, we'll test the game again, and I'm looking forward to testing DX12 and FSR2 and all of that, so that we can get into what this game can look like on Steam Deck and other systems once they fix that up. Alright guys, thanks a lot for coming to check out the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I appreciate you guys coming to watch as always. If you haven't already, subscribe, ring the bell, thumbs up, leave your comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one.